Question 5, here we go. We'll insert a graph page. We'll type in the function 12 take away x squared. To get squared, we'll just press the squared button on the keypad. And we get something that doesn't quite look like what we're given there. So we need to change the window ranges slightly. Let's make the maximum y coordinate by just double clicking on it. And I'll make that to be 15 and then press enter. And I can make the minimum x coordinate different by again double clicking on it, pressing enter. And likewise over here at the maximum, double click and then press enter. And I'll just move that label out of the way. Now I've got way too many notches here, so what I can do is I can change the notch is on the axes if I wish to. Going into empty space and pressing control menu gives us the option of changing the window and the window settings, and we can change the x scale so that it's going up in ones, and we can change the y scale so it's going up in fives, and that way we'll have notches similar to the diagram. Now we're going to try and form a rectangle in this space here, and what we'll do is we'll start off by putting a point. So I'll do menu, geometry, points and lines and point, and I'm just going to put a point on the x-axis, and I'll press escape so I don't do any more points. I'm going to get the coordinates of that point by going over it, pressing control menu and then choosing coordinates and equations. So there's the value of x at the moment of that point. It's 2.45. Now to construct this rectangle, I'm just going to have to do a line up from that point that's perpendicular to the x-axis. So if I do menu, geometry, construction, and do perpendicular, I'm going to choose that point and that axis, and I have this line here that's perpendicular. Now I'm going to do another perpendicular line going from that intersection point perpendicular to the first line I've just constructed. And I'm just going to go out of, going to press escape here so I don't draw any more perpendicular lines, just so I can drag it all the way along so I can get that intersection point there. So again, menu, geometry, construction, perpendicular. I'll do that intersection point, and I want it perpendicular to that line. And then I'll press shall I put another intersection point there? Yes, I'll do one there and then one there. So I have all these lines drawn in, some of them more than once, and these four vertices I will join up now, and I'll be able to measure the area of the rectangle. So I go to menu, I go to geometry, I go to shapes. It's very tempting to go for rectangle, but you need to go for polygon here to allow you to pick all of those 4 points. So I'll just go over the first point, click once, go over the second point, click once. Doesn't matter which order you do these points in. Click a third time and click a fourth time, and on the last point click twice, and that fixes the polygon. I'll then press escape to take it out of polygon mode, and now when I go over it, it says it knows it's a polygon and I can measure its area. If I just press control menu whilst it says polygon, I can measure the area, and at the moment for my particular value for x I have an area of 29.4. Now all these extra lines all around, I'd like to hide them if I can, so I'm just going to go to menu, actions, hide and show, and I'm just going to hide that line, hide that line, hide that line, hide that line. But the polygon I want to leave visible, so I won't hide that. I'm not going to hide the axes either. So I've done enough hiding now. I'll press escape. And now I can got a fully dynamic situation here that allows me to explore all the possible areas that might arise for different values for x. So if I just keep my eye on that, I had 32, 31. To see more decimal places, I can go over that and press the +++ key, and it shows more and more significant figures. Showing at least 7 decimal places there, I think. And again, I can just play around with this, and it seems as if 31.99-ish is the best. I suspect it might be 32, because this is just a numerical approximation. Now obviously that biggest area will come from maximizing this. So we'd have to come up with an algebraic expression for this area of the rectangle. Now if we look at its total width will be 2x, its height will be 12 take away x squared. So I'm just going to go to insert a new page. I'll press Control Dock and add another graphs page. And so the area of that rectangle would be 2x multiplied by the height, which would be 12 take away x squared. Press enter. And this is the function I'm interested in. Again, let's just rescale the axes. I'm going to hold down the shift key, so I just rescale the y-axis. and I'm interested in what is the maximum area. Well, there seems to be a maximum there. It might well be about 32. I hope it is. We can check that. Is do menu, analyze graph, maximum. I'll go to the left of it, I'll go to the right of it, and lo and behold, we do appear to have a maximum area of 32 when x is 2. So if I go back to my previous page and change this x coordinate, double click on it and make it equal to 2, we now have the picture of that maximized area. And so to answer the question, we have to give the dimensions, the length and the width. Well, this length, I could measure it. If I do menu, geometry, measurement and length, I go from that point to that point, and lo and behold, I get a length of 4, and from that point to that point, I get a length of 8. The question is answered.